Hey guys, it's Nikki, and welcome to the first episode of The Mentors. This is a new series here on Stealth Shampoo where we will be critiquing your gameplay. And who's we, you might ask? Well, first off, we got the badass Giaquinto 718 from VAA, legendary manhunt player. I'm sure you know who he is. Next up, we have RudeOnion. She does a variety of content on her channel, as well as Chachi, the winner of the shoutcasting competition, alongside me a while back. And today, we have gameplay from the beautiful Miss Rosa. She actually is really pretty. And I'm sure you will enjoy this artifact assault match we got coming up. Details on how to submit your gameplay at the end of the episode, but let's get this started. Hey guys, welcome to the first episode of The Mentors. I'm Nikki, and today we have on board an esteemed panel of judges judging Miss Rosa's artifact assault gameplay. This is some world-class defending right here, so I'm going to hand the mic over to Chachi. Let's see what he thinks about the ability set.
Alright, so here we have Rosa starting up an artifact assault game, and you can see she's running teleport white knives, and that's kind of interesting. I'm not sure I would run that set. The reason she's taking those abilities is all three of them are counters to teleport, and knives can stop a runner as well. However, I'm not sure. I might take shield instead of wipe since she already has two counters to teleport in knives and teleport. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It can go well if the enemy team is running a whole lot of teleporters. She'll be able to stop all of them.
You should know that gun was banned in this game. It's a crazy, powerful ability in terms of artifact assault, but as a substitute, she's running throwing knives, a much better choice than, say, poison dart or sabotage. Throwing knives are going to be able to cancel teleports and stop people from running away with that artifact.
I also like how she's carrying throwing knives in this game. I feel like when it comes to throwing knives, every good defender is going to bring that, just because when you look at artifact assault as a mode, there has been this boundary drawn to where gun is looked in a cheap manner, and I feel like it should be. I feel like when it comes to the gun, it isn't fair in artifact assault because it really does take a lot to capture an artifact, especially against a team of talented players. And when someone can just pull out a gun and shoot from a long range as they're about to make their way into their base, it's very demoralizing. So I respect the fact that players bring throwing knives in artifact assault.
I know that it's kind of a popular style to run around a whole lot when you're looking for people to who cross over to your side. I personally don't really care for it myself. I kind of prefer to stay hidden, a little bit more incognito, not to score higher, of course, because that doesn't matter, but when they know where you are, it's a lot more easy for them to avoid you.
Typically, the way I'd play Artifact Assault, or the way I play any game mode in Capture the Flag when I'm running with a team that I know and trust, I would actually try to keep offensive pressure on the enemy team by constantly rotating people who are on offense and who are on defense. So if one of the people over on offense dies, one of the defenders immediately moves up to try to move in for a spot. We don't have set roles when I play Artifact Assault, as in defender, guy going on offense. We just have constant offensive pressure, and we keep people pushing towards their artifact. That'll eventually break down the wall that the enemy team has going, because if the guys who are going on offense go down and no one's up there to take their spot, then they're just going to have to respawn, and that gives the enemy team time to regroup.
Unstoppable there. That's why she takes Unstoppable, so she doesn't get shut out through chase breakers. It's a pretty big staple of artifact assault defense play.
Another thing I want to bring up is how she's line defending instead of defending at a specific base. I think that's really smart because she puts herself in the middle of two bases instead of being at one, so if something happens to the second person that's defending, assuming that the game is tied and they still have two defenders, she can go over there and assist him.
Okay, I want to know if it counts as a critique if we want to say how cool the player character looks, because I love that costume for the Lady Black. Okay, I'm done.
She's going to have to burn her teleport here in order to get this, because they've got a 2-on-1, so someone's getting away with that artifact.
Rosa going in for that teleport kill she's infamously known for, and it looks like she manages to teleport all the way to the enemy base, doesn't need to grab the artifact. That was some fancy parkour right there. I wouldn't have thought to do that. And it looks like she's going to get the kill just in time. Looks like that attacker didn't quite make it. Unfortunately, she's... Oh, whoa, no, I was wrong. That person just got a fist to her face.
Great cutoff. here as well. I'm always kind of a fan. I don't really do it myself, but I'm kind of a fan of using teleport to cut somebody off. My only critique is that I would have grabbed the artifact while I was over there. I realize that you are playing defense, but it would have been, I think, really handy if you would have just gotten it.
They're up right now, and all they need to do is keep that lead. And it would be really nice to see if they're going to go into 3 defense mode here just to maintain their 1 artifact lead.
They're up 1-0 right now, so they could run a 3-man D if they really wanted to.
Does anyone else like this Lady Black costume? Because I like this Lady Black costume.
I believe that your kill streak is Mass Morph, in which case that's actually really good, and that's a really good spot to it too, for it as well, right next to your artifact, so well done there. You might get some lures out of that.
Alright, she got a Mass Morph off there, which isn't always entirely effective, aside from just psychological bothering of the runners. They can't automatically tell where the defenders are, although the defenders are almost always on the rooftops. So now we're going to see if Howler can pick up the one she dropped. Nope, Rosa's got it.
That's probably the best kill streak you can use for Artifact Assault. The 250 and 550 kill streaks aren't doing you anything because points don't matter in this game mode, but Mass Morph is really going to screw with people going on offense trying to take your artifact because everything's going to look like you in that area.
I'm really impressed by the routes that Rosa is taking. She gets knife stun there, and I mean, there's really nothing you can do about that given the ability set that she has. She was aggressive, which, I mean, that's not a bad thing, being that none of these players in this lobby seem to be using smoke bomb. So naturally, when you know that someone isn't using smoke bomb, you're not going to take to the roofs. You're going to charge more on the ground.
This is where I feel the unnecessary running kind of hurts you, probably more than anywhere in the game. I mean, you can't say for sure if they wouldn't have been able to pick you out anyway, but if you kind of hold back, maybe a little bit, fast walk, you know, just anything but maybe just out running, it might kind of be in your favor, at least until they know, you know that they know who you are.
So she's got 2 here. Chances are one of these is going to get away with the artifact. But they have 3 defenders. They might not.
But I do like how iiRossa is running the same patterns because that obviously is going to help out, being that she's pretty much running throughout the course of the entire map to look for players to hunt. And when she sees a lock, she's acting on that lock, taking care of the players. Now here she's going to try and get a cutoff. She's teleporting in the right spot. It's looking pretty good. And her teammate got him. But that would have been a phenomenal cutoff because she could have ran directly up the roof or even sat in grab kill position and got an awesome grab kill.
Oh my god, someone stole the muffin that was on my desk. Man, my friend bought me that muffin. Oh, that was a nice Animus shield. You want to pop those Animus shields preemptively because throwing knives are pretty much an instant throwable ability. So that's how they block that one. Especially if you have your Animus shield crafted for duration, you can be pretty liberal with when you activate that thing and get to your side of the map and hopefully have some of your teammates defend you.
She's getting a whole lot of kills here. Points are not happening, but that doesn't matter. That's not the purpose of Artifact Assault. If you're ever playing Artifact Assault, always remember, this is the mode where quantity is more important than quality as a defender.
And I know in this case it didn't really work out, but again, I just want to kind of say what my point was earlier, you know, well done for kind of sticking near the base. If they had scored here, and then if you had already been over there, you know, you might have died or something like that. I think overall it was better for you to stay put on this side and make sure that nobody else came and stole on the rebound.
That puts a lot of faith in her other defender to run down the runner, which it looks like did not happen. However, they're not chasing right now because she killed that one in the zone.
So here, you know, line defending pays off. Again, she's in the middle of the map. Here she gets stunned, and that's not her fault. That's what I mean by the packs of 2, though. You know, she's sticking around. She was waiting for the right moment to try and pick out the second guy, and unfortunately she got stunned because he was in the blend group. And I understand, you know, that that's not the first place a defender is going to look. So that was definitely a smart move on his end.
Alright, pro tip for all you youngins out there. Whenever you get someone's number, always, always, always put their last name in your phone along with their first name, because at one point I had 4 Jessicas in my phone, and I'll just say I said the wrong things to the wrong people sometimes.
So 50 seconds left. The game is tied 1-1. Obviously, Rosa has an essential position in winning this game, and I like how she's holding her ground in the middle. You know, she's giving herself that 50-50 balance positioning. I'm not too sure why she chose to stick exactly in the base, but it looks like it's going to pay off here. She doesn't have a knife now. So now this is going to get interesting. Okay. That was a great play right there.
I do think it would be nice if you were a little bit more liberal with the wipe, just because I noticed that you get it back for quite some time before I use it. And especially if you're in the middle of a chase, it can really help, because then they can't drop smoke or throw knives or anything like that. So, well done.
So yeah, that was a good game by Rosa. Let's see how she did.
Phenomenal gameplay. That was some great defending. Obviously, no one's going to be absolutely flawless when it comes to Artifact Assault. I am very impressed. This was a great game. This was great teamwork. Excellent gameplay.
Not gonna lie, that was some pretty badass Artifact Assault defending by Miss Rosa. In fact, her channel link will be down in the description if you want to check out more of her content. Go say thanks for submitting the gameplay, and also the links to my fellow commentators are going to be down in the description as well. Go tell them thank you and support the video, because they really just help me out of their own free will, and I really appreciate that. Also, if you want to submit your gameplay, details will be down in the description. Basically, pick a game. I got all the criteria down below, and send it over to StealthShampoo@gmail.com. Remember to like and favorite the video and spread it around if you guys really enjoy it. I've worked really hard on this project. I've been Nick from StealthShampoo. Thank you guys for hanging out, and we'll see you all some other time.